The last year, 2020, has been a tough year for everyone at many levels. And I think it has taught us a lot of lessons about how we need each other more than ever. We need each other more than ever. And we may not be able to have the physical contact that we thrive on. Human beings thrive on physical contact. Right from the first hug the baby and mother give each other, where the oxytocin is secreted. And oxytocin is the bonding hormone. It helps you bond. The first hug between the mother and the baby, well, the first hug is when her uterus contracts and pushes the baby out. That's also a hug. A hug that enables the baby to get out into the universe. But that first hug outside in the external world, and the baby and mother, they bond for life. We all know what it feels like when we get a heartwarming hug from someone who means a lot to us. Because the hands are an extension of the heart. I'm going to repeat that. The hands are an extension of the heart. And the moment we realize that, the heart center connects through touch. Anahata, the heart center, connects through sparsha, which is touch. And this is why the human touch cannot be replaced by artificial intelligence. You can replace a lot of things, but not the human touch. And this is why, as a modern medical doctor, I often talk to the medical students. And I tell them, medicine used to be an art with a heart. It used to be an art with a heart. It then became a science with a brain. It became a science with the brain. But now, sadly, it has become a business with a wallet. And this movement from being an art with a heart to a science with a brain to a business with a wallet has also happened to my dear divine yoga also. And this is why, for me, it is so important that we connect to the source. That source it's not outside. That source which is within us. Each one of us is a drop of the same ocean. And every drop is ultimately one and the same. If we are one and the same, where is the duality? If there's no duality, where is the stress? Because the whole basis of the stress reaction, I don't like to call it response because it is reaction. Response means you're thinking about it. Response means your higher discernment has come in. Stress is a reaction. There's no, there is no response at all. It is a total reaction. And what triggers the stress response or the stress reaction? The feeling of fear. And what triggers fear? The feeling of separation, duality. And this is why the whole process of yoga, all the practices that we do with the body, all the practices we do with the breath, all the practices we do with the emotions, the mind and the spirit, every practice of yoga is assisting us, facilitating us on our journey from duality to non-duality, from a sense of separation to a sense of unitiveness. And that is why yoga is all about interconnectivity, connectedness. And when we can connect with each other, heart to heart, mind to mind, and spirit to spirit, that is where yoga manifests in abundance. The rest of it is all just to keep you busy. The rest of it is just to keep you busy. The whole goal of yoga is to enable us as an individual to expand our perspective to include everyone and everything in it. Because the moment you bring everyone and everything into your perspective, there's no fear. And if there's no fear, there's no stress. And immediately the relaxation response Relaxation is a response, not a reaction. Stress is a reaction, but relaxation is a response because you are choosing. You are choosing using this prefrontal cortex. And that is why I keep on saying prefrontal cortex, prefrontal cortex, prefrontal cortex. You know that the. And I've shared a link to that full video of this Nada Bhavana Shuddhi Kriya, which is cleansing the emotions and letting go of all the stuff that is clogging up our system. And we enhance it, rather than the brainstem. The brainstem is all about me, and you should look as mean as possible. Me. It's tough for me to look mean, but I try it. I try it just to let you know what that's about. Me. When people are me, they are very mean. Me, people are very mean because they only think of me. And then you have the the. But suddenly you realize life is much more than survival. And the moment you transcend that survival instinct in yoga, Maharishi Patanjali, that great time traveler, I say that Patanjali is from the future. He is a time traveler who went back into the past and gave us the yoga teachings. And that is why those teachings are as relevant today as they have ever been in human history. And they will continue to be relevant as long as we human beings are on this planet. Because they are timeless teachings. Kale nana vacheda detox. Kale nana vacheda, they are not limited by any time. And Maharishi Patanjali tells us a very dangerous quirk, a very dangerous malware that is loaded in our system at birth. When we are born, there's a lot of good software, but also malware. The malware are the kleshas. The kleshas are the malware. And one of the most dangerous one is the abhinivesha, which is the desire to survive at any cost. And that drives even the most wise people into doing the most stupid things. And 2020 has taught us that. The way people have reacted to this crisis, the crisis is real. The virus is real. But our reactivity is unreal. The way we have reacted is like to get rid of a mosquito, you have cut off your face. It's virtually, that's what we have done, okay? As a medical doctor, so many of my colleagues have got infected. So many of my friends have got infected. In our hospital, our yoga instructors go 4 times a week into the ward with the COVID patients and we give yoga. They don the full kit. You cannot even breathe in it. And they give about 40, 50 people every day yoga. And more than 1,200 people in the last month received it. And I tell you seriously, I love my instructors who have that type of zeal. And they go in and all the nursing staff, the medical staff who are under so much extreme stress, they are getting yoga 3, 4 times a week to support them so that we can support each other, supporting those who are serving humanity. We serve humanity by supporting those who serve humanity. But the worst possible thing is this fear pandemic. Even more than COVID pandemic, it is the fear pandemic. And the fear pandemic has paralyzed us. The fear pandemic has paralyzed us. And that is why we need to go within. Find that place beyond fear. Find that place that exists beyond the survival instinct. And the moment we find that place, we can be the human that we should be. We move out of the subhuman reactivity into the human responsivity. And in that, the human responsibility grows. Reactivity to responsivity to responsibility.